So the Forbidden Depths raid has been nerfed. Sven, Stitch, they no longer work. This means that your solo teams, all those videos that have been put on YouTube, including mine, have been made redundant. And you know, it's tough on the free to play community. I feel really bad for people in this situation because, you know, a lot of clubs have just managed to do the raid. It's not easy, it's really rough on people, and you know, now everyone has to go back to the drawing board and start this whole thing from scratch because the solo teams no longer work. You can forget the Calhoun video, you can forget you know, the Hero Baymax, Sven, Honey Lemon and Bubbles teams for soloing at least. They still stand up and still do a decent job, but for the most part, you know, we've all had to figure out ways to, you know, to beat this raid. And bearing in mind your club has 50 members, if they all contribute, you only need around about 400k damage per person to actually do this raid. So today I'm going to show you a team which does between 500k and 1 million damage, and I'm going to show it in phase 1. I'm fairly certain this will work in the later phases. Might be trickier to pull off in phase 2, but I might have a good variant for that to come out when I get the chance to produce a video on it. For certain it will work in phase 4 and phase 3, but I'm just going to show you it today in phase 1. So the team I want to talk to you today about is a team which features Triton, Beast, Hercules, Belle and Honey Lemon. Now there are going to be variants of this team. This is the only one I ran because I actually ran this pre-raid, except I did swap out Hercules for Eric. But I was running this pre-raid when there was the Forbidden Depths competition. I was trying to actually get a high score without using Hero Baymax, Sven, Barley, you know, all those characters. So this one features Triton, Beast, Hercules, Belle and Honey Lemon. Honey Lemon is here for the slows. She's just going to be using her basic, and she's also going to purge Glut because Glut obviously, he's gonna when he purges, he's gonna give himself offense up and tenacity up, and that's gonna be a real problem for you to sustain the damage because he's just gonna cut right through you here. Hercules is here for his offense down and obviously his damage. I feel it's really important now for phase 1 and phase 3 where the raid bosses do so much damage and you've not really got much to kind of withstand them against. You know, heroes evades only work on tech now. You're not going to protect other characters that aren't tech, like, you know, Bubbles and Barley anymore. So Hercules is here, yeah, for his offense down, and then the main duo, and you're not going to see in this footage that I don't really get to make use of Belle because she gets insta-killed, but the main duo here is going to be Triton and Beast. Now we'll just take you through the footage. What's going to happen in the beginning is that Belle's going to go first. She's got the tier 3 speed stone. She's the fastest unit on the team, and she's going to use the Show Me the Beast ability. This is the one which effectively calls Beast to assist and use his Get Out ability. It's super important here that you land Shaken. Shaken means that Glut can't inflict his debuffs on you, so when he goes to purge you, he's not going to do anything. Now the aim in this run is to keep Beast alive, and positioning is super important here. So I didn't touch on the positioning to begin with, which I probably should have done, but effectively you're going to want Beast to be directly behind Triton. So you're going to put Triton on the right and then Beast directly behind him. So what's going to happen is that when you use Triton's Prismatic Blessing ability, he's going to actually call him to assist. Now I'm not sure if this is a bug or if it's just a raid mechanic, but this has been the case since day 1 of the raid. Triton will always call the character behind him to assist, or characters adjacent to him to assist. So if you drop the cauldron behind him, he'll also call that to assist. But in any case, now once Belle has taken that turn and landed the Shaken, you're going to apply a slow with Honey Lemon, and you're going to follow that up with Herc's middle ability. With Beast, you're going to jump the reason you're going to jump is and not use get out is because you don't want him to taunt, and you also want him to get to empowered as quick as possible. It's really important that you just effectively use basics and that second special in this. You don't really ever want him to use his get out ability, because that gives him roses and that will take him out of empowered. So really important just to use his basics. With Triton, you're going to want to use that prismatic blessing as much as possible. You're not going to want to be enraged. You want him to be unreasonable the whole time. So literally either use basic or prismatic blessing. And then as you're going to see in the footage here, that my Hercules is going to die first, which is okay. It's not too much of a problem. It's probably the ideal situation actually, because you're mostly going to be trying to do damage with Beast. The great thing about Triton's Reasonable is that when you get to use Prismatic Blessing again, if he's already in that reasonable state, he's going to then give everyone Triton's Boon, which is actually going to inflict more damage when, you know, Beast is called in to assist and all the other characters attack. So the other thing is, being unreasonable, he's going to heal the teammate with the lowest health, which is going to clear these continuous damages. So the aim here is to get that cauldron out. Once the cauldron is ready to be placed, you're going to actually put it behind Triton and next to Beast. Now what this means is when Triton uses Prismatic Blessing again, he's actually gonna call the cauldron to assist as well, which is gonna give magic to everyone, and hopefully it's gonna give magic to Triton. Now the aim of this is to get in a bit of a cycle so that you're calling, you're effectively using Triton's Prismatic Blessing, which is going to call Beast to assist him, which is going to give everyone Triton's Boon and do lots of damage in the process. Now unfortunately, in my footage I wanted actually to get a shadow out before Belle died, so in reality I actually probably wanted Honey Lemon to go second, but such is life. The turn order is completely random now, and at least it wasn't Beast or Triton. So you know, it's not the worst thing to have happened, but it would have been ideal if I was able to get that shadow out, because then you've got to shadow Belle and just use that basic attack more and more and more. Now once you've got this team set up and you're down to pretty much Honey Lemon, Triton and Beast, it's really just about getting that damage in and keeping Glut slowed and, you know, purging him where possible. You're going to use Beast's jump ability to actually steal the buffs from Glut. I'm not sure whether the cauldron is still going to be targeted every single time, because this was actually like my third run. There's not a huge amount of RNG involved in this, and you can get a pretty decent run fairly quickly. So yeah, so you know, the strategy is quite straightforward. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get these massive scores again. You know, the solo days, for now at least, are looking likely to be over. Obviously, I've got a lot more testing to do. This was the first raid that I've done since the nerf, and you know, to get an 800k score in phase 1 is still pretty good. As I was saying before, you really just need an average of 400k per person, and this is one run showing an 800k run. I appreciate that it's got Hercules, and some free-to-play players might not have Hercules yet. You can sub in Eric, just to be that taunting tank in the middle. He also reduces turn meter. Prior to the nerfs, I actually got a 1 million run in this phase with this exact team, but Eric in the middle instead of Hercules. So there's definitely opportunity here. I am, as I said, I feel really sorry for the free-to-play community and those clubs that only just got through a heroic, but I'm gonna be here. I know there's plenty of other YouTubers and theory crafters out there in the Forbidden Depths server, for example, who are gonna be looking for teams to, you know, help clubs out and to do the most damage possible. In my first raid, I actually managed to drop a score of 2.8 million. I'm going to release a video a little bit later, which is going to show you, it's going to break down the teams I used to get that score. Because, you know, whilst I have a big roster to choose from, it's still, you know, it's still about making wise decisions with that roster and choosing the teams that are going to actually do well in each phase, rather than, you know, just dumping everything in phase 1, spreading out the teams, because this, at the end of the day, this raid is a team event. As someone who felt that the raid was a little bit trivialized by these solo effort runs, you know, that I and other YouTubers and theory crafters had put together, I am happy that there is somewhat challenging content, and I understand why Glue did this. They clearly probably ran out of ideas in terms of what they could do with the second raid, because these teams probably were still able to solo phases in those raids. I still do think they could have done something about it, and they didn't have to do this nerf as hard or, you know, as timely as right now, because we've had this raid for, you know, 7 months. Like, it shouldn't have taken this long to come down so hard on the raid itself. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to my content. I will be tackling this raid in more depth for the next couple of weeks, months, until we get the new raid. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and see me in my next video, which is going to be breaking down that 2.8 million run. So thank you for watching, guys.